Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Alhamdulillah, with the grace, the mercy and the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we continue our da'wah through Positive Islamic Psychology Life Coach Training Program. Inshallah, over time, over the 600 plus videos that we have in Islamic motivation, coaching, mentoring and counseling, you can pick 30 and join us to become a certified Positive Islamic Psychology life coach to help your mosque, your NGO and so on. So I have given you some idea about the transformation that we need to do in terms of the self, family, ummah and global. And what is important is that I'm doing research on Islam Heart of Love, where we integrate the teachings of the metaphysics of Islam in terms of consciousness, mind, body, heart and cult research and all the other areas. So inshallah, over these many videos that we are developing, Islam Heart of Love, we will have a better understanding of how we're going to bring about this deen to the highest level ever, as promised by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah will take care of this deen and bring it up to the highest level possible under His grace, mercy and love. So what is important is that we know how we have degenerated as a civilization. Not only that we have degenerated the Muslim civilization over the last 500 years, but the whole Western civilization that's barely 300 years old, based on fossil fuel, based on materialism, based on neoconservative or neoliberal economics, capitalism, it is destroying this whole planet. And we know that we are destroying all species on this earth, and finally we will destroy ourselves. We are destroying our climate, we are destroying our ecology, we are destroying everything on the greedy use and throw mentality, and just consume without care that this earth is a finite resource. So what is important is how we're going to move away from the degeneration of Islam to the progression and the redevelopment of Islam to face the challenges of the 21st century, and have given you some ideas and how we Muslims must be united, regardless whether you are Ahli Sunnah wal Jama'ah, a Salafi or a Sufi or a Shia or whatever. All those who pertain to this La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah can group together and live with one another and leave Allah to judge whatever is our worldview, so that we do not become sectarian and do not go into tribalism or sectarianism, killing one another and doing evil things that is not part of Islam but label under Islam. So we have to be very careful what we need to do, and then we move to the next level. Because of this globalized world, we have to draw down our non-Muslim brothers and sisters through da'wah, and this da'wah is the heart of love. We bring about this message that Islam, the heart of Islam is love, the mercy and the compassion of Allah, and the whole metaphysics of Islam. If you study from the great scholars of Islam, Al-Imam Ghazali, Maulana Rumi, Ibn Arabi, Ibn Qayyim, Ibn Sina and all that, they have brought about an understanding of the whole metaphysical purpose and meaning in life, consonant with the grandeur of the sifa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. His essential nature we do not know, but his sifa of the ultimate consciousness or the ultimate intelligence, the active intelligence, or how he manifested his sifa or his attributes to us through the various manifestations that he has ordained upon to happen. So these are covered under our metaphysics of Islam. And what is important is that the same metaphysics not only is for the Muslims, but is for the non-Muslims. So the purpose and meaning in life, whether you are a Muslim or a Hindu or you are an atheist or an agnostic, you still have the same basic fundamental question of your very being. Why are you on this earth? Your very existence and who you are. So this existential question is always impinging on us, because we have this consciousness about wanting to know who we are at the ultimate level, and wanting to know our meaning and purpose in life. So when we bring to this understanding, then we bring the Quranic and the teachings of Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Sunnah, as well as all the teachers, the great teachers before Rasulullah, because Islam is a single deen. Islam is not a new thing brought by Prophet Muhammad SAW. Islam was existent at the time of the first pair, Adam and Eve. Their religion is Islam, surrender or submission to Allah, which is the same. So we have surrender and submission to Allah, maybe through other cultures, whether it's Taoism, whether it's Buddhism, whether it's Hinduism, whether it's Christianity, whether it's Judaism, whether it is the Mayan way of religion. So many of them, all coming back to the acknowledgement of the one absolute, supreme creator who put us into being. So that's why in the Quran Allah tells us, mankind, we have created you from a pair of male and female and made you into nation and tribes that you may know each other. Verily the most honored of you in the sight of God is the one who is most righteous of you. That means the one who is living a life of Iman, Islam and Ihsan for the Muslims, and the one who is leading a life of mutual cooperation and care and love. Alright? So, and Rasulullah also says in Bukhari, none of you will have faith until he loves his brother as what he loves for himself. So, we will not be believers if we don't love our brother. Not only our brothers in terms of Muslims, but our brothers and sisters who are the brothers and sisters in humanity. So, we must learn to live and love each other as human beings. Alright, and verily the believers are like a structure, each part strengthening the other. So we are like a structure, and then Allah tells us in Al-Quran also, and hold firm to the rope of Allah altogether and do not become divided. So for Muslims we must hold together, and also for humanity we must hold together, because if we don't hold together we will destroy this earth, because we only have one planet Earth. So the parable of the believers in the affection, mercy and compassion for each other is that of a body. When any limbs aches, the whole body reacts with sleepiness and fever. So we are all together. So now this whole world is having fever. The temperature is rising. The world, this dunya, this climate is having fever. The fever of climate emergency, climate change, the fever of increased temperature that is destroying all species on this earth. They are beginning to destroy. We are going through the 6th mass extinction. We are destroying the ice in the Arctic and Antarctica, and we are having all kind of challenges that will affect the very nature of this earth. So this earth is having fever, and we have to cool down this earth. How to cool them? This is how we have to work together to bring about a better world for every human being. So that's why we have a unity of human being. But the unity of human being doesn't mean that, you know, we compromise this deen of Islam. No, it's not that. We learn to live and love each other, but you have your own worldview. For example, we are not forcing the Buddhists to become Muslims, nor the Christians to become Muslims. We have our worldview, but we can acknowledge their worldview. We can acknowledge their way of life as long as it's consonant with the greater good, the universal good. So, for example, God has created us to be His vicegerent on earth, to strive in unity with all human beings, to make ourselves good. So, this is a universal value. If we make ourselves good, insofar as taking care of this earth, planting more trees, for example, reducing single-use item, for example, taking care of the environment, taking care of lowering the crime rate, taking care of making sure that everybody have food, to help the poor, the needy, the sick. So many of this wonderful way of life of making ourselves good, and then help others to be good. So what we do is that we as a community, for example, like I'm in Malaysia, we have communities of many religions. So we have Muslims here, we have Christians, we have Hindus, we have Buddhists, we have Taoists, we have many other religions, the Aboriginal religion and so on. So we have to bring all together to make this earth a beautiful earth, that full of peace, full of justice, full of balance in terms of ecology, a sharing economy where everybody has their fair share of the good that Allah has ordained upon on this earth. So we help others to be good, and we make the world good. So, I mean, ecologically beautiful, pleasing to all God's creature. That means we take care because we are given this consciousness and the free will to understand the magnitude of the integration of all systems. We are the only creature. The monkeys cannot do that, which is, they said, is a close cousin, but they are nowhere close in terms of the consciousness of understanding the integration of the system of existence, from the highest level of the meaning of life to the lower level of understanding the integrated ecology of this earth. That means we must take care of the monkeys, the birds, the bees. All of this creature is dependent on us, of how we shape the ecology of this world, but we are shaping it in the wrong direction. We are destroying them. Every day more than 200 species are dying because of the 6 mass extinction, because of climate change, because of melting of the ice, because of the acidification of the ocean. So many because, but it's all integrated into one system, a balanced, just system, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Surah Ar-Rahman that He has created everything in just balance, that we have to maintain that balance and do not let it go haywire. Do not let this climate crisis, ecological disaster, temperature rise to take over until all these species that is dependent on us die. When they die, we die, as simple as that. Okay, so they are saying that now if the ice in the Arctic melts totally, that will be the sign of the tipping point of no return. If all the bees were to die, then we are gone as a species, because we are all integrated living in a system, and only we, the human species, have the consciousness, have the knowledge, the understanding of this integrated existence, of this holistic reality, that we are part of a greater good, a greater whole. And at the highest level, we are part of a greater manifestation of the Creator. Allah creates us, all right, and put us into being to become His vicegerent, to be His Khalifa, to make this world good. So inshallah, if we can understand this and bring this becoming a core meaning of our purpose and meaning in life, it will be a fruitful, wonderful, loving, caring, tender life, and we will make this world a beautiful heaven on earth for all human beings, for all the goodly creatures of this earth. And inshallah, if we do that, we bring about this understanding of this unity of humanity within the deen of Islam, living together in peace and harmony and love, and making this world a better place for all, inshallah.